guitar enthusiasts, we're going to be doing the guitar lesson for Ticket to Ride by the Beatles. Great song. Let's go over the chords we're going to be using. So the intro is all picking, and I'm going to show you how to do that, but the chords we're going to be using are going to be an A chord, an A sus4, okay? So very, very simple transition, especially if you make your A chord with the first, second, and third fingers. All right, I know some of you have bigger hands, and you might only be doing this with 2 fingers, but I do it with the first, second, and third finger because it's easy just to lift that third finger up and down to go between that A and that A sus4 chord. We do also have a D chord. We have a D7 chord as well. We have E major. We also have G major, and we have a couple bar chords on the 2nd fret. The first one is going to be B minor, and the second one is going to be F sharp minor. Okay, so this is putting this a little bit more in the early intermediate to intermediate realm for guitar songs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the picking pattern for the intro of this song. Now, this timing is very awkward. It's very weird. I would have to practice a lot to sing. So I'm going to show you an alternative that you can do afterwards if you want to try and play and sing this at the same time, especially if you don't have another person. Because usually, you know, one person would take over this picking part and another person would sing. So we're going to start off with those 2 A chords. We have the A and the A sus4. Let me play it so that you guys can hear it, and then we're going to talk about the timing and why this is sometimes a tricky line for people to play. All right, so you can hear there's this kind of weird timing that happens when we're playing these notes. So the timing of this is 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. So it kind of has like this slight hesitation to it, which I think throws a lot of people off. It can be something that's very hard to play in a loop, and then to go and try and add lyrics over it can really throw your mind for a loop. So let's talk about the notes that we're picking here so that you can play along with this. Now, we are playing an A and an A sus4 chord, but since we're only playing the bottom 3 strings, you could just play your A chord with the first and second fingers and then lift up the second finger on the B string. When I was playing it, I played with the A chord because eventually you're going to go to a B minor chord and then an E major chord, so I kind of like playing the full chords. So let's talk about what we're doing here. We're starting with the G string on the A chord, and we're going 3, 3rd string, then 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. And when I get to this point, that's when I lift up my 3rd finger to get ready for that suspended 4th note. Because we're coming right into that open string next. So it's going to be from the A chord, we've got the G string, the E string, the B string, the G string. Then we lift up that finger. So now we have an open B string, and we're going to play the open B string, open E string. Okay, so this is what we have. So it's going to be, and then right here you have to remember, put this finger back down because we've got to get into that A chord again. Okay, so we want to make sure we're paying attention to when that finger is coming up and when it's coming down. So we need that open B string on the 2nd half of the measure. So the timing is 1, 2, and 3, and 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 1. Okay, so that's our timing. Bum, 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 bum. So on that last note, that open E string, you gotta jump right back to get to that G string on the A chord, all right? So you might wanna sit with this. Go very, very slow when you're working this. Just go. I would go very, very slow, and then you can speed it up because it is a fast song. It is a little bit intricate to get that timing, but if you just practice it for about a week, you should be able to get it down pat. Now, at the very end of these verses, we do have a B minor chord and an E major chord. And all you're going to do is pick those in a similar timing that you had before. Does it really matter what you're picking? No, I just kind of did. Okay, so right there I did, that one actually I did a little bit different. I did 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 2. Okay, either one, it'll work. Okay, as long as you keep the tempo and the timing the same, it doesn't matter. Okay, I grabbed the bass note on that E string. I probably wouldn't grab the bass notes because I would stick with the more trebly notes on that, but that's all you're doing. You're going from those A chords to a B minor and then an E chord, and then we're going to start strumming. Before we get into how to strum the chorus and the bridge sections of this song, what would I do if I wanted to play this song and sing it at the same time? I probably wouldn't do the picking. So what would I do? I would stick with a down, down, up, down, up strumming pattern. So it would be 1, 2, and 4, and down, down, up, down, up. And on the second up, I would just lift up the finger to play the A sus4. I think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's today, yeah. That girl that's driving me mad is going away, yeah. So you can see, I just took a simple strumming pattern and now it made it much easier for me to be able to sing over it instead of having to worry about the intricate timing with the picking. So we just came off the B minor and the E chord and we're coming right into F sharp minor. So the strumming pattern here is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and down, 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 up, down, up. And that's what we're going to be using on the choruses. And again, if you need the notes for any of this, any of the strumming patterns, they're on my website under the notes, under the song sections. So the first chord progression is going to be F sharp minor, D, F sharp minor, and then we're going to strum and hold a G chord. Then we come back to F sharp minor, we go to E, and then we're right back into, okay, so you're going to go right back into that picking, or you can go back to the strumming, whichever you choose. Let's take the chorus here. So we got 1, 2, ready, and she's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care. And a little trick if you want to know, you could go from that F sharp minor chord. If you just wanted to stay in a bar chord shape, you could just slide your finger up 1 fret and you would be on that G as a bar chord. So she's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. I kind of like the open chord because the open strings tend to resonate more and ring out better. So I like hitting the open G chord, but you can choose whichever one you think sounds better. So then once you finish up that chorus, you're going to jump right back into the verse. And then we do have chords that change up. We have a bridge section. We're going to do a slightly different strumming pattern, use slightly different chords. Let's go check out that section right now. So this bridge utilizes 2 chords. We have the D7 chord, all right? This is where the D7 comes in, and an E major chord. Okay, so it's going to be D7 3 times, E, D7 3 times, and then E. And on that last one, we're going to hold the E and let it ring. So the strumming pattern we're going to be using here is just going to be a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So we're going to a straight 8th note rhythm. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I don't know why she's riding so high. She ought to think twice, she ought to do right by me before she gets to saying goodbye. She ought to think twice, she ought to do right by me. And then after that, guess where we go? Right back into? Okay, right back into that picking pattern. So you can see that picking pattern comes in and out throughout the song, and this is a great way to play along with a track to work on your picking, and if you want to strum along to it, you can just use one of the easier strumming patterns. Now, if you enjoyed this strumming and picking combination, then I would highly recommend you go check out my Norwegian wood lesson right over there. I'm going to show you some cool strumming patterns and some fun lead lines that you can play as well.